Chapter 36. It was another beautiful and ordinary day in Konoha. The sun was starting to come up, and inside the Senju compound we find Senju Tsunade slowly stirring. 3 years had passed since Naruto, Gaara and Jiraiya had left. Her apprentice Hyuga Hinata had joined mid-trip. Tsunade was extremely happy with how Hinata had turned out. The girl was a sponge. Everything Tsunade would have to teach her, she would absorb in an instant. Hinata was able to read multiple books on different subjects, and by morning they would already be done. When Tsunade had asked her how she did it, she simply replied, "Kage Bunshin," and left a gob-smacked Tsunade behind. While she couldn't create thousands like Naruto, she could create some solid 50 clones, which was more than enough to read a couple of books. Hinata had also developed a few more poisons and medical creams. In fact, Hinata had asked permission so that she could set up a small store in the Senju compound so that she could sell her poisons and healing creams to anyone who wishes to buy them. Hayashi had really been a fool when he expelled her from her clan. He had let go of a very rough diamond. To simply discard such a valuable asset, but above else his own daughter, like garbage. When Hinata had told her the whole story, Tsunade wanted to go on a rampage into the Hyuga compound. In the end, Hinata managed to calm her down with a bit of sake, and a couple of juken strikes. When Hinata told Tsunade what both her and Naruto had planned for the Hyuga clan, she just smirked. Those poor fools would never know what hit them until it was too late. "I'm late," Tsunade said, getting up from her soft bed. She looked back towards the other side of the bed and sighed. She really missed the old pervert, even though she wouldn't outright admit it. They are due back any day now, Tsunade thought to herself. The whole compound was going to be full again soon. "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu," Tsunade said, and 3 clones popped to existence. "Go to the office and get started on the paperwork," Tsunade ordered, and the clones paled but complied with the original's orders. "Now for a long bath," Tsunade said, going into the bathroom. Hashtag Tsunade's office hashtag. The original Tsunade arrived at her office and joined her clones in handling the massive paperwork that seemed to grow during the night. Until this day, she didn't know where all of these papers came from. Sure, she had to read every mission report, but most of those were standard ones that didn't even require much attention. Mission report: Capture Tora mission. At 10:00 hours in the morning of the 10th day of the 4th month of the 1432-year Ninja, we, Team Ebisu, were assigned the Capture Tora mission. It took 1 hour to track down our objective, and we found him hiding in a small alleyway. We tried a stealth approach, but Tora managed to sense us proceeding to run away from the location. After an hour of running after the target, Sarutobi Konohamaru managed to flank the target from the front, making the target run to the left, where Udon had a trap prepared. The target was captured, and Team Ebisu proceeded to bring it to the Hokage's office for delivery and mission conclusion. "Why the hell do we even have reports on D ranks?" Tsunade asked, looking at Team Ebisu standing in front of her. "I believe it's practice for when the Genins start taking on higher missions," Ebisu stated matter-of-factly. "In the meantime I suffer with all of these worthless reports," Tsunade yelled, waving the papers in front of them, making everyone cringe at the sound spike. "You can always hand over the hat to Naruto and Ai-chan," Konohamaru said, and everyone was taken aback by that statement. "I thought you wanted to be Hokage?" Moegi asked, confused. "Of course. Naruto and Ai-chan, we will the Rokudame Hokage, and I'll be the Nanadame Hokage," Konohamaru said, pumping his fist into the air. "He's due back any time now, isn't he?" a voice asked as he entered the room. "Grandpa," Konohamaru said, greeting his grandfather, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who walked into the room smoking in pipe. He didn't seem to have changed much in 3 years. He still had white hair and beard, and he was wearing civilian clothes. He was wearing a brown haori, and beneath it he had a gray kimono. To anyone else he would look like a normal person, weakened only by age, but it was far from the truth. While old, he still remained a very powerful shinobi. "How is everyone?" Hiruzen asked, getting a hug from his grandson. "Just fine, Hokage-sama," Ebisu replied, pushing his glasses. Ebisu was a elite jounin of Konoha. Although many would doubt his claim, no one really bothered with it. He was a jounin sensei, and they hardly got missions with higher ranking than a B rank. "And answering your question, yes. Naru-chan, Jiraiya-kun, and Gaara should be back any time now," Tsunade said, smiling. "Jiraiya-kun, is it?" Hiruzen asked with a smirk. "Yes, it is. You've got a problem with that, old man?" Tsunade asked back with a smirk of her own. "No. I'm just glad you finally accepted the poor man after all the beatings you gave them," Hiruzen said, chuckling. "He deserved one of them," Tsunade said, crossing her arms. "I'm hurt, princess," a voice echoed through the room. Everyone turned around to see the space swirling and Jiraiya standing in the middle of the room. I thought you loved me, Jiraiya said with a mock hurt, wiping away fake tears. Pervkuin, Tsunade said, jumping into Jiraiya's arms and giving him a big sloppy kiss. Ebisu went flying into a nearby wall and passed out with blood loss when he saw Tsunade's breasts squeezing against Jiraiya's chest. The old man Hokage managed to remain his posture and simply watched with a small smile. He was glad his two students got together, even if it took them a couple decades. The space kept swirling and next came Gaara. Gaara had grown quite a bit and was now taller, almost matching Naruto but surpassing Hinata. He wore full-length dark trousers, with a pair of laces on each leg, respectively a few inches below the waist and the knees, a long-sleeved crimson coat with flaring hemlines on the front and the back, a gray holster vest held in place by a single strap over his left shoulder and by two buckled belts. Gaara had also stopped using his gourd to keep the sand and began using special seals Naruto made. These seals were different from the standard storage seals. While in the storage seals you channel chakra through it and everything pops out, these were different. Gaara needed to channel chakra constantly to keep the sand flowing outwards. When he wanted to stop he could just cut the chakra flow. The seal worked like a floodgate and with Gaara having a shikaku inside of him, chakra wasn't a problem. Gaara, Tsunade said and Gaara greeted everyone. The next person swirling into the room was none other than Hyuga Hinata. Hinata had grown into a very beautiful woman. She was around 5 feet 9 inches, with a slim figure worthy of a goddess. She had long and toned legs, smooth skin and a well-developed chest, around D-cup in size. Hinata had retained her straight, Heim-style haircut, but she let her hair grow to waist length. The short strands that frame her face remained, but were now shoulder length. She now wore a new attire comprised of a loose-fitting, long-sleeved, dark blue and white zip-up jacket with dark blue over-mesh armor with black pants and black, low-heeled sandals. On the back of her zip-up jacket she had the symbol for yin and yang. A/N, check profile for picture. Tsunade-sensei, Hiruzen-sama, Hinata said, greeting everyone politely. The swirling seemed to be coming to an end and we see a last figure standing in the middle of the Hokage's office. This person stood at 6 feet tall. He had bright spiky yellow hair that reached his waist, with shoulder-length bangs framing the sides of his face, covering most of his right eye. He was wearing his traditional orange pants and black sandals. He was also wearing a sleeveless black shirt with a chest plate over it. On his back, he carried a wide fan with 3 blood-red tomos on each side. It had a long handle with bandages wrapped around the base. The main part of the weapon was light brown with the edges being black. He was Senju Naruto and he was back from his trip along with Jiraiya, Gaara and Hinata. Yo, Naruto said, grinning at everyone in the room. Everyone just stared at the man in front of them. They had a hard time believing that the kid Naruto grew into this man in front of them in just 3 years. Hiruzen could feel the aura Naruto was releasing and it pleased him to know that Naruto had grown stronger. Long time no see, Naruto said, breaking everyone from their trance. Naruto and Ai-chan, Konohamaru said, looking at Naruto. Hey brat, Naruto said, ruffling Konohamaru's hair. Nice to see you again Naru-chan, Tsunade said, smothering her grandson in a hug. He was running out of oxygen and was forced to use Kamui to get off. I bet you are stronger now Naruto and Ai-chan, Konohamaru stated, pumping his fist into the air. You bet Konohamaru, I've learned a lot of new jutsus, Naruto said, grinning. Oh, teach me some, Konohamaru said, getting giddy. The last time he asked Naruto for a jutsu he got the Rasengan. Naruto hummed, touching his chin, thinking what he could teach Konohamaru next. Show me your Rasengan, Naruto said. Yash, Konohamaru yelled, placing his hands in a cross sign, shadow clone jutsu, and a single clone popped into existence. Naruto's eyes blazed, bringing his Sharingan into life. Now that he grew up he looks even more like him, Sarutobi chuckled to himself, smoking on his trusted pipe. Good stability and pressure, Naruto said, observing Konohamaru's Rasengan spinning in his hand. Since that using the shadow clone and the Rasengan only took about 5% of your total chakra capacity, I guess I can teach you the next version, Naruto said and extended his right hand forward. Konohamaru jumped in the air with excitement and began focusing in what Naruto was going to do. Naruto's chakra started coming out and started swirling. It formed a normal Rasengan until it started expanding further and further until Naruto created an Udama Rasengan, big Rasengan. That's just a Rasengan, Konohamaru said, disappointed. Wrong. This is called a big Rasengan and it's about 4 times stronger than the normal Rasengan. You need to increase the chakra output while maintaining stability and compression, Naruto explained and Konohamaru nodded. Any questions? Naruto asked. Why is it silver? Konohamaru asked, admiring the shining silver ball of destruction spiraling in Naruto's hand. Well, Naruto started not wanting to reveal the real reason why his chakra was silver. Something happened during my training trip that turned my chakra color into silver, Naruto said, and Konohamaru shrugged his shoulders. Thank you. See you later Naruto and Ai-chan, Konohamaru said, and Team Ebisu left the room leaving Tsunade, Hiruzen, Jiraiya, Gaara, Hinata and Naruto. I hope you got stronger, Tsunade said towards the three teens in front of her. Please, they are so strong that it isn't even funny, Jiraiya said, crying anime tears. He had to work and train so hard back in his youth and now 17 years old can be strong as him. It just wasn't fair. How would you rank them? Tsunade asked. She already had a pretty decent idea regarding Hinata, but the other two she would be drawing blanks. Both Hinata and Gaara are Kage level shinobi. Hinata could defeat you, but she would lose against me as she doesn't have the same raw power, Jiraiya explained. Though that girl can be deadly with her needles and poisons if it wasn't for my sage mode that can heal poisons, Jiraiya thought. Gaara is pretty much on the same level as me when I'm not using my Sennin mode, Jiraiya explained, and Tsunade nodded. And Naru-chan? Tsunade asked, and Naruto smirked while Jiraiya scoffed. I don't even know, Jiraiya said, looking at our favorite blonde. What do you mean, you don't know? Tsunade asked, confused with her temper rising, thinking the pervert was playing with her. Exactly that. What's the rank above Kage level? Jiraiya asked, and Hiruzen's jaw dropped. The brat started comparing himself to gods, but Hinata beat that idea out of his head quick enough, Jiraiya said, and Naruto scoffed. It makes sense. After all, ramen is food for the gods, Naruto said, chuckling, and Jiraiya's sweat dropped. All kidding aside, Tsunade said. I don't know Tsunadeheim. I honestly don't know. I don't stand a chance against him even with using my Sennin mode at full power. I mean, he took me, Gaara and Hinata at the same time and he still won without even getting scratched, Jiraiya said, and Tsunade's eyes widened. That's not possible, Tsunade said in disbelief. Can you send your ANBU outside for this? Naruto asked, but Hinata stopped him. I already took care of them, Hinata said, pocketing her Senbon. They all focused chakra into their ears and they could hear light snoring from the ceiling. Damn that girl and her poisons, Tsunade thought to herself, sighing. Hinata never missed an opportunity to test out any new poison she had. Let's just say I got an upgrade to my eyes, Naruto cryptically said. Naruto's Sharingan started spinning until it revealed his ordinary Menjikyu. His eyes pulsed and started spinning outwards, shrinking his pupil and forming several rings around the pupil. Naruto's eyes turned to their last level, the Rinnegan, the eyes of the gods. Rinnegan, Hiruzen said just above a whisper, but loud enough for everyone to hear them. How the hell do you have those eyes? Tsunade yelled. She couldn't believe she was seeing those eyes. They were supposed to be legend, nothing more than a myth. These eyes are achieved when you mix the blood of a senju with an uchiha, Naruto explained, and Tsunade remained silent processing the information. Naruto then proceeded to explain what his eyes could do and how he unlocked them. What's next? Tsunade asked, the Byakugan. Tsunade asked, shaking her head. Actually, Hiruzen started gathering the attention to him. If Naruto and Hinata have kids, the Jujutsus might fuse together, Hiruzen stated, getting blushes from both teenagers. They may have been sleeping together, but starting a family was a big step that they weren't ready to take yet. Anything else? Tsunade asked, thinking the surprises would be over by now. Actually yes, Naruto said, and the space around him started spinning. From his eyes came out 6 figures. They were Senju Hashirama, Senju Mito, Senju Tobarama, Senju Kushina, Namikaze Minato, and Hyuga Hana. Tsunade blinked when she saw everyone in front of her. What did I tell about drinking, young lady? Mito said to her daughter, who had her eyes widened. Damn, this is some good stuff, Tsunade said, picking the bottle next to her. She looked to her left to see Hiruzen on the floor drooling. I told you we're always too soft on her, Tobarama said, crossing his arms and looking at his brother. I really have to stop drinking, Tsunade said, throwing the bottle into the garbage. Tsunade, Jiraiya started, they are real and alive, Jiraiya said, and Tsunade turned to stare at her father, Senju Hashirama. How about you give a hug to your old man? Hashirama asked, opening his arms. Tsunade did what a sane and normal person would and fainted, smacking her forehead against the desk, making everyone's sweat drop. That went well, Naruto said, and the others couldn't help but to chuckle. ### 1 hour later ###. Both Hiruzen and Tsunade started stirring. They opened their eyes thinking everything that had happened was nothing more than a dream. I really have to stop drinking, Tsunade muttered to herself until she looked at her office. Hinata was talking with Mito and Hana, probably some girl stuff. Minato was talking with Tobirama, go figure. The man that hated the Uchihas above everything was chatting with the son of Madara himself. Naruto was arm wrestling with Hashirama with the exception that Hashirama was using wood and Naruto a chain. Just a plain normal day in Konoha. Smack. Thumb. Everyone turned just in time to see Tsunade's head smack against her desk again and Hiruzen dropping to the floor. They all sweat dropped and sighed thinking it would take another hour until they woke up again. Around 5 minutes later both of them woke up again but this time they stayed conscious. Explain, Tsunade said rubbing her temples. The true power of my eyes allows me to create anything I want, Naruto started, the only limits is my imagination. Using their blood I found in the abandoned lab of Orochimaru a couple years ago, I used the Rinnegan's power to create new bodies for them. Once I had that, I brought their souls from the pure world and placed them into the bodies I've made. Basically I can do anything I wish. I can create anything, bring back anyone, Naruto explained and Tsunade just nodded. But, Naruto started, I'm going to be responsible with this power. I can't just start bringing back people and stop everyone from dying. As much as it pains me I have to let nature run its course, Naruto sadly said. While Naruto had the power to pretty much do anything he wanted he knew he couldn't. Even then he would be playing God by judging who should live and die. So brat, Tobirama started getting a tick mark from him, are you going to explain why you brought us back? You said you would explain once we got back, Tobirama said and Naruto sighed and gathered his thoughts. It all began 17 years ago when the Kyuubi attacked Konoha, Naruto said and looked towards his father and mother to explain. I'll spare you the details and hit the highlights, Minato said taking a deep breath and gathering his thoughts, it all started when Naruto was being born. Kushina's delivery time and location was a very well kept secret. Somehow this masked man found out and managed to slip through both the ANBU and the barrier I set up. He claimed to Uchiha Madara but I knew very well my father's chakra signature so it wasn't him, although his chakra somehow felt familiar, Minato explained. He calls himself Tobi, Naruto added and Minato nodded. Tobi seems to have this Kamui ability like Naruto which means that he's definitely an Uchiha and he has the Manjikyu. Tobi took Naruto as hostage to split me from Kushina. He then removed Kurama from her and proceeded to attack Konoha. In the end I faced off against him and drove him away, sealing Kurama inside Naruto. Minato finished his explanation. Does anyone have any idea as to this Tobi character is? Tobirama asked but everyone shook their heads. No. But he can use the Mokuton, Naruto said and Hashirama's eyes widened. What? Hashirama asked, no one has ever been able to do it. Besides he's an Uchiha right? Hashirama asked confused. I'm an Uchiha as well as Senju so that doesn't apply. Although when I felt his chakra and after consulting with Tsunade-bachan we concluded that he somehow implanted cells from your previous body to gain access to your bloodline, Naruto explained and Hashirama nursed his head. The real problem is that he belongs to an organization called Akatsuki. They are a group of S-rank shinobi that are after the Bijou. That's the reason why I brought you back, to help defend the world against this group, to give you all a second chance, but most of all to prevent Orochimaru from using the Edo Tensei and forcing you to his will, Naruto explained and everyone nodded. I still don't know who the leader is, Jiraiya said sighing as his soy network was drawing blanks. Do you think it might be this Tobi character? Minato asked. I don't know. While he's very strong, every other member is as well and we don't even have a complete list of all their members, Jiraiya explained. So, where do we go from this? Tobirama asked and everyone turned to Tsunade. Well, Tsunade started tilting back on her chair, I don't suppose any one of you wants to take the hat back? Tsunade asked and they shook their heads. I can't exactly have you running around the village when you are supposed to be dead and buried, Tsunade said glaring at Naruto who shrugged her off. What do you propose? Hiruzen asked curiously and Tsunade sighed tilting back on her chair rubbing the bridge of her nose, deep in thought. Like I said, I can't have you running around Konoha and I can't place you in ANBU, Tsunade started. I'm thinking of creating a brand new group or division focused on dealing with the Akatsuki, Tsunade said in afterthought. Like ANBU? Minato asked and Tsunade nodded. A mix between ANBU and the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. It will a group comprise of Konoha's elite shinobi. Your primary objective will be fighting against the Akatsuki with a few side missions, Tsunade explained, of course you will need to wear masks so you don't get recognized, Tsunade finished. That's good and all, but our jutsus tend to stand off, Hashirama said, thinking of his wood jutsu. Minato had his Hiroshin, Tobirama could pull water from the atmosphere, Naruto used his fan which was quite known, Gaara had his sand and so on. Let them suspect, as long as they don't know your identity it's fine, Tsunade said and they nodded. Senju Naruto, Hyuga Hinata, Senju Hashirama, Senju Mito, Senju Tobirama, Namikaze Minato, Senju Kushina and Sabaka no Gaara. You will be the 8 dragons of the leaf. You answer only to me, your Hokage, understood? Tsunade asked. Hi, they all chorused. Do we have any special type of outfit like the ANBU? Naruto asked, curious. All of the ANBU always wore black pants and sleeveless black shirt with a metal chest plate over it and a small sword strapped to their back. The purpose of the ANBU was to make everyone look like each other in order not to reveal the identity of the ANBU. The ANBU often took very dangerous missions and with masks who used to protect them from any enemies seeking out revenge against the ANBU itself or any family he might have. That's the reason why Naruto never took his mother's name so soon. While having powerful shinobi out on the open favors the village since they broadcast to have powerful shinobi, it also has the drawback that, if any enemy wants revenge, they know exactly who to target. Probably, let me think about it and I'll tell you all later at home, Tsunade said and they nodded. Naruto, Hana said, getting his attention, not that I'm not happy but I'm not particularly strong. Why did you bring me back? Hana asked, confused. Besides the fact you make my princess happy, Naruto said, pulling Hinata close and getting a blush from Hinata and sounds from both Mito and Kushina. Even though Hinata-chan was expelled from her clan, she still wants to help the branch house and I'm going to help her with her dream. When we are finished with the Hyuga clan, both houses will be under the same roof with you as clan leader, Naruto explained, getting a cheek kiss from Hinata making him rub the back of his head. She really found good man in Naruto-kun, Hana thought to herself, smiling at the pair of love birds in the room. Hinata was clinging to Naruto's right arm. To be young and in love, Hana thought to herself, remembering Hayashi. You know I can't let you interfere in clan business, right? You're a clan head yourself, Tsunade asked in a serious voice. I know the laws very well, Naruto started waving her off, that's why they won't know what happened until it's too late, Naruto said, chuckling and Hinata giggling at their wonderful plan. Once they made their move the Hyuga clan will be in for a rude awakening. Poor Hayashi, Kushina thought, looking at Naruto's eyes. That glint was the same both of them had when they were planning any prank. And the fact Naruto was laughing like a maniac was already proof enough. Kushina just hopped Naruto didn't destroy the Hyuga compound, accidentally. That reminds me, Tsunade said, gathering their attention to them, the Uchiha compound now belongs to you, Naru-chan, as well, Tsunade said, getting wide eyes from him. What? Why? Naruto asked, confused. You and Minato are the last Uchihas in the village. Even though you never officially belong to it, the law states that as long an Uchiha is alive, all possessions from money, jutsus or property belong to them, Tsunade explained and Naruto sighed. One question, Minato said and Tsunade motioned him to continue, where are we going to live? The village knows that Naruto lives at the Senju compound and if they found out that my house was being used it would raise many suspicions, Minato stated, getting a nod from Naruto. Like always everyone turned to Tsunade who was cursing her luck. I have an idea, Hashirama said, making everyone focus on him, why don't we all live at the Senju compound? It has more than enough rooms for all of us. Besides, that is what I wanted when I founded the village with Madara. For both the Senju and the Uchiha clans to coexist peacefully and live happily, Hashirama said, placing his arms over Minato and Tobirama's shoulders. I can go with that, Naruto said, happy that his family just got bigger. Now that everything is over, how about we go for lunch? Tsunade asked, getting up from her chair. Ramen, Hashirama, Kushina and Naruto said, crossing their arms in front of their chest. Minato just chuckled at their antics, it seemed that it skipped a generation with Tsunade. Typical Senju attitude, Minato said, chuckling and got widened eyes from both Tsunade and Hiruzen. I never heard you talk like that, Hiruzen said, looking at the fourth Hokage. I never told anyone of my father so I kept it to myself, all the quirks, Minato said, rubbing the back of his head, but since Naruto exposed his heritage I don't have to hold it anymore. Besides, it's true. From the stories my father always told me about Konoha and the Senju is that the Senju were brash, loud, and addicted to ramen especially, and I quote, Hashirama baka, no offense, Minato said, chuckling towards Hashirama whose eye was twitching. You could have told me at least, Hiruzen muttered under his breath, but Minato heard him anyhow. He's right, Minato. I was your Jounin sensei, I took you as my apprentice, Jiraiya said, and Minato sighed knowing it was true. It was a request from my father. He told me to keep my eyes a secret. I activated them when I was 5 years old trying to save my mother. When I got back to the leaf, I started hiding them under a small genjutsu. I did it for so many years it became instinctive to me, Minato explained. The only person who ever knew was Kushina-chan, and that was because my genjutsu slipped when my Manjikyu activated back when Kushina-chan was kidnapped, Minato said, sighing, making Jiraiya's jaw drop. You have a Manjikyu? Jiraiya asked, and Minato nodded, channeling more chakra into his eyes until they started spinning and the komas moving erratically. They stopped spinning and his eyes were still blood red with 4 arrows pointing to the middle of the eyes overlapping a small circle around the pupil. A/N. Check profile for Minato's picture. What can you do with those eyes? Hiruzen asked, curious. The standard ones. Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, and the first stage of Susanoo. I never really invested much time into my Manjikyu. I couldn't really use my Hiraishin while had my Susanoo active and I wasn't gifted with Naruto's Kamui ability, Minato pouted while Naruto chuckled. If I had told you that my father was Uchiha Madara, would you have given me that hat? Minato seriously asked to Hiruzen. I'm not one to judge, but most likely not, Hiruzen answered truthfully and Minato nodded knowingly. The same can be said for you, Jiraiya-sensei, Minato said, and Jiraiya sadly nodded. While they tend not to judge someone by another person's actions, there would always be something lying around, whether it be caution or simply some distrust. It's in the past, let's forget it, Tsunade said, and everyone nodded. I know very well what my father, uncle, mother, daughter, and Minato can do. However, I still want to see you 3 in action, Tsunade said, pointing towards Gaara, Hinata, and Naruto, who raised their eyebrows. The 3 of us together could take on the whole village and win. 2 shinobi who are Jinchuriki plus an extremely skilled and powerful medic, Naruto said, and Tsunade got an evil glint in her eyes, making Naruto gulp. That's why I'll be taking away your most relied and powerful skills to see what you can do when your aces are gone, Tsunade said, rubbing her hands together. Gaara will fight without his sand, Hinata without her Byakugan, and you won't be using your Hiraishin and Sharingan or above, Tsunade said, smirking evilly. You're on, Naruto said confidently. Who are we fighting against? Naruto asked. Tsunade-chan, do you think it's wise teaming up 3 S-rank shinobi? Hiruzen asked. A S-rank shinobi was dangerous on his own, but adding 2 more and using teamwork would be devastating against anyone who had to fight them. Yes, we took most of their power and I just want to see them in action, Tsunade said when she heard a knock on the door. Come in, Tsunade said, not remembering she had her family on her office, and Kakashi walked in. Nice to see you again, Kakashi, Minato said, turning to his student. Kakashi rose his head from his book to look at the person that greeted him. Thumb. Kakashi toppled to the ground like a sack of potatoes. I should have known, Minato said, shaking his head. A few minutes later Kakashi woke up and Tsunade explained everything that happened and Kakashi swore secrecy. So who are we fighting against? Naruto asked and Tsunade smirked. ### training ground 7 ###. Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Hiruzen, and the 8 dragons were all at the training grounds ready for the battle that was about to ensue. Of the 8 dragons, all but Naruto and Hinata weren't wearing a mask. So who are we fighting against? Naruto asked, as the only known for sure was Hitaki Kakashi, who was by now an S-rank shinobi. He never was one because of his low chakra pool due to his Sharingan being constantly active. But now that he can activate his Sharingan, will he finally manage to take the spot? Tsunade pointed at the horizon and Naruto noticed several persons approaching. They were Mitarashi Enko, Yuzuki Yugao, Kato Shizun, Momochi Zabuza, Yuki Haku, Yuhi Kurinai, Sarutobi Asuma, Ebisu and Mado Gai. What rank is Haku-chan? Naruto asked. Elite Jounin, Tsunade replied, smirking. So we are facing 1 S-rank shinobi and 9 elite Jounins, Naruto said, running the math in his head and thinking about several scenarios. Scared? Tsunade mockingly asked. Not really, Naruto replied and waited for them to gather up. Long time no see. Kurinai-sensei, Haku-chan, Zabuza-sensei, Naruto said, greeting his fellow senseis and friends. Oh yes. I get to taste your delicious blood, Enko said, jumping in the air while everyone's sweat dropped. I heard you got stronger, brat, Zabuza said, getting a nod from Naruto. Who are they? Zabuza asked, pointing towards the masked man that will be watching the battle. Don't you think it defeats the purpose of them having a mask if I tell who they are? Naruto rhetorically asked, but Zabuza shrugged his shoulders and left it at that. Like I've informed all of you. You are here to test Naruto, Hinata and Gaara. Each one of you has special skills towards one area of the shinobi field. Tsunade explained and every nodded. Do it, Tsunade said to the 8 dragons. Minato, Hashirama, Tobirama and Hiruzen all jumped away from the fighters, leaving a large area. Shisekyojin, formation of the 4 red suns, all 4 shinobi said, and large red barrier erupted from the field, trapping every contestant inside. Why a barrier? Ebisu asked, curious. So you don't destroy anything outside of the training field, Tsunade explained. But we don't have jutsus powerful enough for that, Yugao stated, confused. I was talking to Naruto, Tsunade said. Yugao paled when she looked at Naruto, who was grinning like a madman. The rules stand as I explained. No sand for Gaara, no Byakugan for Hinata and no Hirishin, Sharingan, and above for Naruto. Hajime, Tsunade said from outside the barrier as she watched everyone blur towards each other. So, Hiruzen started, who do you think will win? Hiruzen asked. 9 elite jounins and 1 S-rank against 3 S-rank shinobi. Judging by the ranks they seems evened out, Tsunade said, looking towards the battle. Hashtag inside the barrier hashtag. Each group was facing each other. Everyone was stopped in the same place, eyeing the opposition. Naruto's stance was relaxed, emotionless, his breathing was calm and even, his only movement was his hair being carried away by a small gust of wind, deep blue eyes staring at his opponents. Such aura, Yugao thought to herself, mentally gulping. He's not even releasing chakra and I'm shaking, get yourself under control, you're an elite jounin for crying out loud, Ebisu thought to himself. Naruto wasn't releasing chakra or killer intent. He was just there looking at them, and yet he seemed like an unmovable object. It was like he knew he was going to win, but it wasn't arrogance, it was confidence. I'm already sweating and he didn't even move, Asuma thought to himself. There were 10 shinobi of elite jounin level and above, and a single brat of 17 was making them freeze in the spot. Delicious, Anko was thinking to herself, his blood should still top quality Kukuku. Suddenly Naruto's right hand slowly moved and everyone tensed, getting ready for an attack. Naruto made a single hand seal and was enveloped in a cloud of smoke. In his place was now a naked girl with 2 blonde pigtails. She had an hourglass figure with DD cup breasts. She had smoke around her covering all the important parts, but not enough so that man couldn't extrapolate the rest. Ebikuin, Naruto cooed in a sexy voice, posing towards the elite jounin. Give me some sugar, Naruto said, opening his arms towards him. Ebisu's reaction was instantaneous, he plummeted into the ground with blood pouring from his nose. Looks like I get first blood, Naruto said, laughing at the others' reactions, as he dispelled his henge. He picked up Ebisu and flashed towards Tsunade and dropped him next to her, still unconscious from blood loss. The brat is a genius, he took out an elite jounin with a transformation, Anko to herself, grinning. Want help? Kurama asked as he woke up from his slumber. Where's the fun in that? Naruto rhetorically asked. Naruto's hands blurred towards the horse seal and everyone tensed for real this time. He took a deep breath and said, Katan, Goka Mekyaku, Great Fire Annihilation. Naruto needed the chakra inside his lungs, converting it into fire and shaping it. Naruto unleashed a gigantic wall of flames covering most of the field where they were fighting. Holy! All of the jounin thought before half of them blurred through hand seals. Hashtag outside of the barrier hashtag. That's Madara's jutsu, Hiruzen said, gobsmacked. Well, he is my father, Minato stated. But, who taught it to him? Hiruzen asked. This jutsu was Madara's trademark jutsu. As his fan, it couldn't be copied as Madara refined it to only needing a single hand seal for him to perform. I taught it to him. I saw Madara Baka doing it plenty of times, so I told Naruto what I knew of it and he figured out the rest, Hashirama explained. You taught it to him? Hiruzen slowly asked. That's not the only thing I taught him, Hashirama said, smirking while Hiruzen paled, thinking what his teacher could have taught him. Naruto had plenty of powerful jutsus behind his belt, and with Hashirama backing him up he could only hope no one died. Then again, if anyone died, Naruto could bring them back, so, nothing to worry about. Hashtag inside the barrier hashtag. Suetun, Suijin Hiki, Water Wall, Kakashi, Zabuza and Haku said before unleashing a torrent of water to combat the wall of flames that was scorching the ground and coming towards them. The water clashed with fire, but it wasn't enough to put out the flames, so they just surrounded themselves with water to prevent any damage. The rest of the grounds were scorched, making them lifeless. 3 jutsus of a stronger nature against a single jutsu of a weaker one, and yet we were overpowered, Kakashi thought to himself as the steam was spreading around the field. Futon, Daitapa, great breakthrough, Asuma said, taking a deep breath and exhaling a gust of wind that blew the steam away and provided much-needed vision. The Jounin looked towards their opponents to find everyone missing. Tsutenkyaku, heavenly foot of pain, Hinata said as she was coming down from the sky with her right leg raised. Everyone Jounin scattered away as Hinata smashed her heel on the ground, making it explode, forming a gigantic crater. I wonder what we did to Tsunade-sama to award such fate, Kurenai thought while crying anime tears. Dokujiri, poison mist, Shizen said, pumping her lungs full with chakra and launching a mist of purple poison towards Naruto, Hinata and Gaara. Futon, Mugen Sajin de Tapa, sandstorm devastation, Gaara said before taking a deep breath and releasing a strong gust of wind that blew the mist away, making it easily disperse and thus making it harmless. Konoha Gariki Senpu, severe leaf hurricane, Guy shouted as he appeared next to Naruto spinning. Naruto brought his right hand up and caught Guy's shin, stopping his momentum. He stopped it, with a single hand? Guy thought to himself with his eyes widened. Naruto had stopped Guy's leg and slammed his own left leg on the ground. A small earth wall rose from the ground, defending him from a couple of senbon that Shizen had thrown. Sanaijishu, hidden snake hands, Enko said, sending multiple snakes that wrapped themselves around Naruto and brought him close to her. Now for your blood, Enko said, and Naruto grinned before started glowing. Naruto exploded, sending Enko tumbling into the ground and tearing up most of her coat. Naruto's hand popped out of the ground just behind Asuma, who jumped back in time to avoid them. Asuma threw his daggers powered with wind chakra, but Naruto simply swinged his fan, making them fall into the ground. Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Kakashi said and sent a fireball towards Naruto, who waited for it. The moment it came close to him, Naruto swinged his fan and dispersed the fireball into nothingness. Ram dog rat snake dragon. Hijitsu, Mugen no aim, secret technique, endless rain, 1, Hinata whispered, crouching on the floor. Clouds started gathering in the sky, covering what was once a beautiful and sunny day. A couple of seconds later, a few drops of water fell from the sky until it began to increase, turning it into heavy rain. Rain? Kakashi asked, surprised, until he saw Hinata raising from the ground. This rain is laced with chakra, Kakashi thought to himself as to why the rain had chakra. It was generated from the clouds and not from chakra, so it shouldn't have any trace of chakra in it. It's eating away my chakra, Kakashi thought, shocked. Any drop of this rain that hit him would absorb a small bit of his chakra, which multiplied by thousands of water drops that were falling wouldn't be good. Water started gathering and spiraling around Hinata, forming a water tornado of sorts. Suetun, Swishuha, exploding water wave, Hinata said, and the water exploded from her position going towards the Jounin. As she pulled water from the air, Haku gasped to herself. Hashtag outside of the barrier hashtag. She pulled water from the air, Tsunade blurted out, I thought only Tobarama Ajizan could do it. Did you teach her or something? Tsunade asked to her uncle. Not quite. It can't be taught as only I can do it. I have high water affinity, that is why I can pull water from even the driest atmosphere. While Hinata has good water affinity, it still isn't to my level, so she found a way around it. She uses a jutsu to create clouds, thus making it rain. As it rains, the air becomes saturated with water, thus allowing Hinata to pull water from it, Tobarama explained. Amazing. She truly found a way to eliminate the weakness of water users without chakra expenditure, Hiruzen said, and Tobarama nodded. Indeed. If there wasn't water, the water users would need to make water from their chakra, which would spend a lot of it. Thanks to this jutsu, Hinata is able to draw water from the ambient in a way similar to mine without wasting so much chakra, Tobarama explained, and Hiruzen nodded. Although that is not everything that it does, Tobarama started getting raised eyebrows from the rest. While the rain is naturally generated, Hinata can coat it with her chakra, creating 2 additional effects. The first one is a sensing effect, anything that the rain touches, Hinata knows of it. In fact, this jutsu is similar to the Byakugan. While it doesn't allow to see chakra, it allows to sense any person's position as long they are in contact with the rain, Tobarama explained, and Tsunade had her eyes widened. She really hit the jackpot with that girl. The second one is far more deadlier. This rain eats any chakra that it comes in contact with, that isn't the same signature as the creator of the jutsu or Hinata's allies. As long as the rain is failing, Hinata has water to use, knows the location of every single shinobi in the rain's range, and slowly eats away the chakra of the enemy. Hinata can also absorb the chakra the rain stole by touching the water on the ground, Tobarama explained, and Hiruzen whistled. This jutsu employed at a large scale, like war, could change the battlefield. Any drawbacks? Tsunade asked. This jutsu seemed too good to be true. None whatsoever, Tobirama chuckled, the only problem is it requires a very high degree of chakra control. So high that not even I can do it, Tobirama said, shaking his head. Hiruzen and Tsunade could only nod and turn their attention to the battlefield. Hashtag inside the barrier hashtag. The water shocked washed away through the battlefield, ripping out rocks from the grounds and destroying trees. Since there was a barrier around the training field, the water didn't disperse and left a small layer on the ground. Guys, Kakashi yelled, regrouping, this rain is slowly eating away our chakra, Kakashi explained, and everyone nodded, thinking exactly what they could do. What do we do? Kurenai asked, worried as she didn't have particularly high chakra levels. I'm thinking about it, Kakashi said when he felt a chakra spike. Heads up, Kakashi yelled. Suetun, Suryuden no Jutsu, Water Dragon, Naruto and Hinata both shouted at the same time, creating 2 water dragons. What? Naruto never could perform such high-level water jutsus. The Rinnegan, of course, Kakashi thought to himself, going through hand seals and slamming his hands on the ground. Doton, Dorihiki, Earth Wall, Kakashi said, and an earth wall rose from the ground to block the water attacks. Mikazuki no Mai, Crescent Moon Dance, Yugao said as she multiplied after images due to her speed. Due to the rain, Hinata could tell exactly which one was the real and blocked her sword with her daggers. Hinata parried the sword with her daggers, making Yugao lose her balance. Hinata took advantage of her error and punched her, sending her flying back into the arms of Anko, who caught her before she could hit the ground. Yugao coughed and began breathing harshly. While Hinata didn't punch her at full power not to kill her, she wasn't going to let Yugao get away with a simple love tap. Megan, Jubaku Satsu, Tree Binding Death, Kurenai whispered as she prepared her genjutsu. She focused her chakra and tried to catch Hinata in a genjutsu as she was clashing blows with Yugao. A few moments later nothing happened. My genjutsu isn't working, Kurenai said, shocked. It's the rain, Kakashi said, shocked with what he was seeing with his Sharingan. You need to release chakra into the air so it can affect Hinata's network. The rain eats away any chakra in the air, rendering all non-Sharingan genjutsu worthless, Kakashi explained, and Kurenai cursed her luck. Now she was pretty much useless. We need to get rid of the rain then, Kurenai said, and Kakashi's sweat dropped. Easier said than done, how the hell could he even stop rain in the first place? I'll give it a shot, Asuma said, stepping forward and pumping his lungs with chakra. Katan, Heizukisho no Jutsu, ash pile burning, Asuma said, breathing out a cloud of ash. The cloud spread through the whole field and Asuma made a spark with his teeth, igniting the cloud into flames. Naruto swinged his fan to avoid getting hit with the flames, protecting Hinata and Gaara. All done, Asuma proudly said, dusting off his hands. The rain seemed to be gone until it started to fall again. His attack only momentarily stopped the rain. This sucks, Asuma said, lowering his head in defeat. Raitun, Jibashi, electromagnetic murder, Naruto said as his hands sparkled with electricity. Naruto released a wave of electricity that spread through the whole field using the water from the rain as a medium. A few Jounin were hit as they couldn't dodge. Futon, Detapa, great breakthrough, Asuma shouted, releasing a gust of wind to temporarily push the rain away and disperse the lightning attack. This might work, Haku said, going through hand seals. Ice release, freezing tundra, Haku said, and started lowering the temperature outside considerably. Moments later all the water started freezing and the rain turned into snow, finally disabling it. Great job Haku, Kakashi said, commending Haku on a job well done. Haku, by lowering the temperature, managed to stop the rain. Damn, that's cold, Kakashi said, shivering. Now he didn't know which was best, rain or some freezing nightmare. Yugao behind you, Kurenai yelled as Hinata appeared behind Yugao and striking her in the back. Yugao fell forward with a thumb sound. Naruto flashed outside, delivering Yugao to Tsunade to heal. Makio Hyosho, demonic ice mirrors, Haku whispered as the whole ground turned into reflective ice. The ice covered the whole training field. Ice release, ice step, Haku said, and disappeared into the ground. Haku popped out behind Naruto and threw a couple of senbons. Naruto brought his fan to his right side and blocked it. As he blocked them, Naruto jumped back to avoid another hail of needles sent from another location. Haku-chan improved her jutsu. She's able to move through her mirrors on the ground, appearing anywhere in the battlefield. With the right level of control, this jutsu can become as deadly as my Hiroshin, Naruto thought to himself. Apparently Haku also grew into a powerful shinobi in her own way. However, Naruto thought, taking a deep breath and focusing on his senses. Haku popped out on another place, but Naruto was already expecting hit and flexed his right arm forward, sending a chain towards Haku. The chain wrapped itself around her legs and circled her arms, pinning her to the place. Your jutsu isn't instantaneous, so I can feel where you pop out, Naruto said in thought. Every jutsu has a weakness, you just need to find it. And apparently my chains also have a weakness, Naruto thought, shocked as he watched Haku release ice chakra into the chains. The chains started to crack as the ice was making them brittle. Luckily for Naruto, Hinata realized it in time and appeared next to Haku, giving her a Juken strike and knocking Haku out. Here comes the rain again, Kakashi muttered beneath his breath. With Haku out, the temperature started rising again and the snow turned into water once again. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, Anko said, slamming her hand on the ground. A giant brown snake poofed into existence with Anko standing on top of his head. Konoha Kaigansho, Leaf Rock Crush, Guy said, and he appeared behind Naruto, with Zabuza in tow getting ready to behead to Naruto. Naruto's head detached from his shoulders at the same time Guy smashed his elbow into Naruto's back. Naruto exploded, releasing a lightning chakra into both shinobi, who jumped away slightly twitching. Naruto sent his chains towards the snake, making them wrap themselves around the snake. Futon, Shinkuha, Air Blade, Gaara said, pumping his lungs with chakra. He released multiple winds blades that sliced the snake, making it dispel in smoke. I'm done, Anko said, falling to the ground face first with chakra exhaustion. Summoning the snake was her last move. With the rain draining everyone's chakra away, she was the first to succumb to it. This isn't going well, Kurenai said, taking deep breaths. Anything they threw at them they could easily block it or deflect it, and they weren't even using their best weapons. And the rain also had done a number on her, her chakra levels were getting low as well. Asuma, Kakashi said, and Asuma nodded, going through hand seals. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone, Asuma said, throwing a couple shurikens of multiplied into hundreds. Naruto, Hinata and Gaara stayed put and watched as most of the shuriken dispelled mid-air as the rain had eaten the chakra that powered the shadow shurikens. Raikiri, Kakashi yelled, popping out of the ground behind Naruto with his hands sparkling with lightning. Naruto didn't even move as Kakashi tried to thrust his hand into Naruto. Key word being, tried, as the Raikiri dispelled from the rain and was nothing but a small punch to Naruto. Naruto used Kakashi's shock to take advantage. Naruto caught Kakashi's wrist and flinged him over his shoulder, kicking him away. This rain jutsu really is something else, Zabuza said. Zabuza was said to a master of water ninjutsu, but even him had to accept the magnificence and simplicity of this jutsu. My turn, Naruto said before bending slight down and disappearing. Fast, Zabuza whispered as he brought his arm up to block a kick from Naruto, who appeared next to him. Naruto placed his hands on the ground for leverage and kicked with his other leg, making Zabuza burst into water. Naruto jumped back to dodge a punch from Guy as Zabuza rematerialized next to him. Futon, Fujin no Jutsu, Dust Storm, Gaara said, and released a cloud of dust covering everyone's vision of Naruto and Hinata. Hinata used the rain to track the movements and appeared next to Zabuza. Hinata cocked her fist and Zabuza brought the flat side of his sword to block. While the sword blocked most of the force, Zabuza was still thrown backwards and crashed into the ground unconscious. Hashtag outside the barrier hashtag. They are dropping like flies, Tsunade said, chuckling. I told you about putting 3 S-rank shinobi against elite jounins, Hiruzen replied, shaking his head at his successor's antics. It was to make sure they could hold their own without their best techniques, Tsunade said. Hashtag inside the barrier hashtag. Kirigakure no Jutsu, Hinata said, and a heavy mist started appearing, covering all the battlefield. Hinata crouched and took out a few senbons as she felt the enemy's location. Futon, Daitapa, great breakthrough, Asuma said, blowing the mist away. Asuma kneeled as he felt his chakra getting low. Hinata appeared behind everyone as she used the water in the ground to move. She threw her poison senbons at Shizen and Kurenai, trying to take the medic and support fighters. Kakashi caught the movement with his Sharingan and flashed through hand seals. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone, Kakashi said, sending multiple shurikens to intercept the senbons as he moved into another position but was body blocked by Gaara. Futon, Fanned Wind, Naruto said, swinging his fan and blowing the shurikens away. Hinata's senbon hit both Kurenai and Shizen, who weren't expecting them. P-Poison, damn it, IGG got high tea, Shizen thought as she closed her eyes and fell forward. Kurenai dispelled into pink flowers. Kurenai had managed to perform an escape genjutsu at the last moment possible, though her illusion was quickly dispelled from the rain, showing where Kurenai was. Naruto blurred towards his sensei and knocked her out with a chop to the back of the head. Gaara disengaged from Kakashi and jumped back to regroup with Hinata and Naruto. There was only 3 members left on each side. This isn't looking good, Asuma said, taking deep breaths. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto said, and a single clone popped into existence and crouched on the floor in lotus position, meditating. What's he doing? Kakashi wondered though as he also was breathing a bit heavily. There was nothing they do to counter this rain as it was eating their chakra away. Dokujiri, Hinata said as she pumped her lungs with chakra and released a purple-looking mist towards the 3 remaining jounin. Futon, die. Asuma said but coughed and fell to the ground without chakra and taking deep breaths. Kakashi appeared next to him and shined away to safety. Guy, Kakashi yelled and Guy nodded, punching his fists together. Kaimon, Kyumon, Simon, Shaman, Taman, Kiman, Kyuman Kai, Guy shouted, opening the first 7 gates. Asa Kujaku, Morning Peacock, Guy shouted, sending countless punches towards the incoming poison mist. The punches were so fast that the friction with the air caused fireballs. The fireballs collided with the mist and erased the poison completely. Asuma is out, Kakashi said, giving Asuma so that Naruto could take him out of the barrier. Looks like we are the last ones, Kakashi said, looking at Guy who had a blue aura around him. Let's take this up a notch, Naruto said as his shadow clone dispelled. Naruto closed his eyes, gaining several red markings in his face. Naruto gained red pigment markings around and under his eyes as well, 2 concentric red circles in the middle of his forehead. His blue eyes were gone and replaced with deep blood red ones, reminiscing of the Sharingan. Hashtag outside of the barrier hashtag. You taught him senjutsu? Hiruzen asked, paling at the thought. By using senjutsu, Naruto's jutsu were on a completely whole new level. I did, but it started from an accident. Naruto used his Rinnegan and tried to absorb my chakra while I was using senjutsu and nearly killed him. After that I taught him how to gather and control natural energy and he's a complete master of it like me, Hashirama proudly said that his descendant was skilled like he was. Oh boy, Hiruzen muttered under his breath. Hashtag inside the barrier hashtag. Say senjutsu. Kakashi stuttered as he saw Naruto's aura with his Sharingan skyrocket. Naruto blurred away from his position and engaged Guy, with his gates open, a fierce taijutsu brawl. Guy's opened gates seemed to be holding off Naruto using senjutsu rather well. They both were exchanging powerful punches and kicks that released shockwaves each time. Naruto threw a punch and Guy tilted his head back to allow it to pass with getting it. Big mistake as Guy is flung backwards by Naruto's senjutsu attack. Dynamic entry, Guy shouted as he regained his bearings from Naruto's senjutsu enhanced punch. Guy jumped high into the air and flexed his right leg forward, plummeting towards Naruto who braced himself. Naruto side-stepped Guy and caught his leg, swinging him and throwing him backwards again. Guy back-flipped and landed safely, breathing heavily. Your flames of youth shine brightly, young Naruto, Guy shouted, panting and getting ready for his final attack. Hiradora, daytime tiger, Guy shouted, punching forward as fast as he could, distorting the air pressure around his fist. However, Naruto was already there to match Guy's punch with his own. Naruto poured the rest of his senjutsu chakra into one last punch, clashing it with Guy's. A massive shockwave erupted from their clash that even the ground shook like an earthquake. Hinata, Gaara and Kakashi who were fighting had to stop and secure themselves to prevent getting blown away as well. The shockwave ceased and Hinata focused her eyes to find Naruto standing near the downed form of Guy. That was some attack, Guy, Naruto said, wiping sweat from his forehead. Naruto turned around to the last man standing, Hatake Kakashi. Last man standing, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said as he regrouped with his team. Hinata crouched on the ground and absorbed the chakra she had stolen to refill her reserves. I'm done, Kakashi said, crouching on the floor, almost depleted from chakra. How about a final clash? Kakashi said, gesturing to his hand. Naruto nodded and told Hinata to disable her water jutsu, making the clouds disappear and the sun to shine through. Both Naruto and Kakashi blurred towards each other. Raikiri. Futon, Rasengan. Both of them shouted as their attacks clashed and in a bright flash was all over. Naruto was still standing while Kakashi was taking a nap on the ground with his right arm smoking. The barrier was dropped and Tsunade picked up Kakashi, dropping him with the other unconscious jounins by the tree. So you completed the Rasengan as well, Tsunade said, and Naruto nodded. Yes, though that is the low-powered version, otherwise I would kill Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said, and Tsunade nodded slowly. Low-powered, sure, Tsunade thought to herself, looking at the crater on their clash. So do we pass? Naruto asked, grinning, and Tsunade shook her head in disbelief. Yes, you are great, Tsunade replied, let's go home. ### later that day, Senju compound ###. Ramen really is food for the gods, Naruto said, rubbing his belly, while Hashirama and Kushina couldn't disagree. The rest of the clan just shook their heads at the amount of bowls they managed to eat. By the way, Tsunade started, I found what the dragons will be wearing when on missions, Tsunade said, and everyone raised an eyebrow. Tsunade got up and went away. 5 minutes later Tsunade returned with a few boxes. She opened the boxes and pulled out what seemed to be some old dusty armor. This armor was constructed from numerous metal plates, formed into multiple protective guards along his body, in particular, chest, shoulders, thighs, and forearms. Each collar of his shoulder guards bore the Senju symbol emblazoned on them. The old Senju clan armor, Tobirama said, picking up his long-lost blue armor. I thought about using this as your outfit. Of course the Senju clan symbol will be removed and a dragon will be etched in the frontal plate, Tsunade explained, and everyone nodded. What color do you want your masks and armor? Tsunade asked. Dark green, Hashirama replied. Light blue, Tobirama said. Black, Mito said. Yellow, Minato said, grinning. Blood red, Kushina said. Purple, Hinata said. Brown, Gaara said. Orange? Tsunade asked towards Naruto, who shook his head, surprising everyone. Silver, Naruto replied. A/N, check profile to see what Naruto looks like with it. The 8 dragons of the leaf are now official, Tsunade said. Like it? RNR. Next chapter, the dragons assemble. Like I've said, my update schedule will fluctuate a lot depending on the work I have to do. 1. Name, Hijitsu, Mugen no Aim, Secret Technique, Endless Rain. Rank, S rank. Requirements, very high chakra control. Class, Supplementary, Support, Water Ninjutsu. Users, Hyuga Hinata. Hand seals, Ram Dog Rat Snake Dragon. Description, by using her chakra, Hinata can form clouds on the sky and moments later create heavy rain. The range of rain is determined by the chakra used to create the clouds. The rain allows Hinata to know the location of any shinobi in the area and eat away their chakra and any jutsu they may have active. This rain renders genjutsu useless, as genjutsu users need to release chakra into the air to affect the opponent. Clones, defensive walls and other jutsus are also eaten away, and if their chakra gets too low they will dispel. Hinata can also collect all the stolen chakra by touching the water from the rain. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.